Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vince Gankema, and these are my colleagues. Today we're going to show you an educational video about Thailand and its beautiful culture and business culture.
We chose the country for several reasons. First, because as a tourist we would like to visit the country, but secondly, we would also like to make business there or maybe do our internship in Thailand.
Every country has its customs, so does Thailand. Let's start with greetings.
Hello.
Don't shake hands.
Sawadee ka.
In Thailand, we why.
No man.
Don't step on coins as it is disrespectful to the royal family.
Yes, come in.
Hello. I'm here to see Miss Kanjana Pizza.
That's great. For what reason?
I have a job for a job application.
But do you know that that's not appropriate clothing for
Why
job
not?
interview?
How should I be dressed then?
You cannot wear gray. I'm sorry to send you back, but yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And how should I be dressed in the future?
Well, you have to be dressed in a black suit with a white shirt, and it's not acceptable that you wear gray. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Business attire should generally just be very dark.
So I've written down here all the requirements. You can take a look at them and you can put your signature here.
I think it's a bit too early
What?
for signing the contract.
But we're already negotiating for 2-3 days and we agreed on everything. So it's just a matter of revising and then you can make the deal.
I know, but I'd like to know you a little bit more, and we can have a dinner and discuss it then.
The problem is tomorrow night I have my flight back and I don't have that much time actually.
But you don't have to rush. Just let's see how it goes, and we can discuss it. And yeah, I don't want to rush. Things here are not done in a rush.
Okay, so we can have dinner after this and then we bring the contract and then you can take a look at it and we can make the deal.
Okay, we'll have a look. Yeah.
Okay.
Relationships are important to the people of Thailand. Never rush into a deal.
Now that we have showed you some examples, we can see this beautiful graph here and see the power distance, the individualism, masculinity and certainty avoidance, the long-term orientation and the indulgence. As you can see, for each of these elements there is a huge difference between the Netherlands and Thailand.
But what about the opinion of someone who has actually lived and worked in Thailand?
So could you tell me more about yourself?
Related to Thailand, yeah. I lived in Thailand from 1989 to 1999 for 10 years. Since then, I go back regularly. To some more information, I was in the board of directors of the Netherlands Thai Chamber of Commerce in the Netherlands, 2007 to 2010. And sometimes when something goes wrong in Thailand politically, they call me, news programs, radio, even television, mostly magazines, to give a comment on these developments. And I publish a magazine on doing business in Southeast Asia or in Asia as a whole, called Business Trends Asia. So yeah, Southeast Asia, and in particular Thailand, is one of my core areas or countries.
Okay. Could you explain the Thai culture in short?
Thai culture is very interesting. If you take Southeast Asia as a whole, you can make a split into the southern countries in Southeast Asia, the Malay countries, so Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, Singapore to a certain extent, and the more northern countries, which are part of Indochina, which is Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, to a lesser extent Myanmar. And Thailand has a lot in common with these other Indo-Chinese neighbors. It's more Chinese than the Malay southern neighbors, and resembles Cambodia, both royal families, both royalty, both old nobility. So that sets them apart from countries like Laos and Vietnam, who have a communist background. And Thailand is very unique. The combination of this monarchy, nobility, gives it a very the different society than others.
Okay, thank you. Which cultural differences were most surprising for you?
The most surprising were, I think, if you compare it again with neighboring countries, like initially you think Thai is very open. That's what you would think, because they smile, they're friendly, which is true. But they're not that open. They're less open than their Malay counterparts. It's a very closed society. It's not that easy to communicate. That's the Chinese side of them. Thais are southern Chinese. Hundreds of years ago, they originate from southern China, so they're very mistrusting towards outsiders, which is outside their circle of friends, outside their family members, and that makes communicating not that easy. As opposed to Malay, the Malay nature is a little bit more open, a little easier to communicate with.
Okay. And which were the similarities between your culture and the Thai culture?
The similarities between, let's say, the European culture, of course there are a lot of differences, but there are also similarities, especially in the younger generation now, your generation. The differences get smaller and the similarities get more and more. In the old days you had the old, let's say, the old generation of Thai people. They were very Thai, like I said, mixed with nobility, very hierarchical, very class conscious. The younger generation, much less. They're more global citizens.
Yeah.
They much more resemble the European youth. So the difference gets smaller.
Okay. Yeah, what was the easiest cultural aspect that you had to adjust to? Yeah, did you something that you shared really and that you really didn't have any problems with adjusting to actually?
Now, what I like, especially in Thailand, as opposed to the neighboring countries, is that you're free. You're free to do whatever you like. And that's, you can say, okay, that has to do with Buddhism, has to go with their inward looking. Can be true, but the fact is that it's a free society, or it's a free city, Bangkok, because nobody bothers you.
Okay.
If you want to stand, you can do whatever you like. You know, as long as you don't offend somebody or don't step on somebody's toes, you can pretty much do whatever you like. So it's a certain kind of freedom.
Okay, and what was the most difficult thing that you had
The
to
difficult
adjust?
part is to get close. I can say I've lived there for 10 years. I've been there like 30 times. I don't have one single Thai friend, not one. I have some acquaintances, but I don't have any friends because it's very distant, and it's not like they or certain Thais are very distant to foreigners in particular. No, they're also distant to other Thais. Thais are very mistrusting of anybody else, whether Thai or foreign.
Okay, which are the values and norms that are respected when doing business, and specifically in Thailand?
In Thailand, of course, there are certain things you have to respect and you have to be aware of. First of all, it's the royal family, the monarchy, which is very important there. You should not make any disrespectful remark, any joke whatsoever. It's taken very seriously. It's very much appreciated and admired, and you should not ridicule that. That's lesson number one. Number two is Buddhism. Buddhism is, the majority of the Thais are Buddhist, although in the south you have like 3 million Muslims. Still, 90+% of Thais are Buddhist. And some monks have a special status, monasteries, or temples I should say, have a special status. So that's again a subject which you should not ridicule.
Okay, could you tell me some do's and don'ts in the context of doing business in Thailand?
Basically I would emphasize on 3 things. First is the monarchy, the royal family, which is sacred, you could say, is very much admired. So you should never ridicule anything that has to do with the royal family or the monarchy. That's not done. Linked to that is Buddhism. The 98% of Thais are Buddhist. So monks, temples, or anything that has to do with Buddhism is an area which you should not judge or ridicule, because it's very important to them. And the third thing what has to do with that is just the national pride. Like every country in the world, they have a national pride. And it's not up to you, as being a foreigner, to judge their nation in the sense that political system or religious beliefs or social values. It's not up to you to judge them negatively, but that would apply to anywhere, I would say. So it's basically it's the royal family, the monarchy, Buddhism, and national pride.
Now that you have seen the differences, no, it's the examples.
Here, wait a bit.
Okay, when to start?
Action.
Then stop wasting my camera.
Yeah,
Start.
come on. No, when?
No.
He's already recording.